had this sinking thought inside. I'm doing all this work, and for what? I'm suffering, polishing my craft, never being fully satisfied with my skill. I feel lonely as being an artist is a solitary work. I spend so much time working on my art, and for what? To have some hateful comments about my technique or theme or the fact that I dare to call myself an artist? Or even worse, to have 3 views and 1 like on a painting that I spent 20 hours working on. Let me hold your hand here, I completely understand. Been there, done that, still feeling that sometimes. And I know how discouraging it can feel to not get any validation as an artist. This fast-paced, information-overloaded, capitalistic world doesn't seem to care much about anything but money. And being a sensitive creative person is very uncomfortable and even painful in such a world. But it is definitely not hopeless. People have cared about art since the beginning of time. Artists are needed in the society, especially in such trying and turmoil times like now. But being tired and burnt out is unfortunately what can happen to us from time to time, and we need to be strong enough to get back on our feet. Also, we tend to have creative crises, changes in us which can feel like slowing us down, but in fact are letting us shed our old skin and grow, both as a person and as an artist. So I want to share my experience and give you some guidance if that's how you're feeling right now. I'm an artist and an illustrator. Also, I have a psychological education, and I have been drawing and painting for over 15 years now. So I have had quite a bit of these breakdowns and critical moments in my life, and I'll share what I do when I feel like breaking point has come. But first, some symptoms of this state. It's not scientific, just my observations. Low energy, feeling unmotivated, feeling that all efforts are in vain, not being excited with what you're doing, losing interest in the goals that you've set before, inability to keep up the regular schedule, avoiding creative work, sadness, fear, hopelessness, despair. Sounds tough, right? So if you recognize some of the things from the list, there might be a chance you are actually at this crossroad in your creative life. But that's okay. It is scary, but also exciting, because a crisis brings growth and new paths that you haven't seen before. It helps you get rid of old patterns to gain new ones. But this point where the old has died and the new hasn't yet been born is a scary and uncertain one. So here is how I usually cope with this. First, I give myself some space. I'm not trying to push and squeeze anything out of myself. I'm not creating for some time, I legitimize a break. However, it shouldn't be too long. Don't turn this into months and years, okay? I turn to things that generally inspire me. Going for walks, to the museums and cinema, taking a bath, seeing something beautiful, meeting my friends. You add your own ones. It is really about listening to yourself and to smallest impulses you have at this time. You might have to tune in, as these impulses can be really weak and subtle in the beginning. So even if your only desire is to go sit in the kitchen with a cup of tea and a candle and read or watch something that you like, great! Grab it and execute. Don't try to force on yourself something that you think you should want, but rather try to connect to the smallest impulses and feelings and urges in your body and mind. I necessarily give myself some quiet time, being on my own, no videos, no social media, just some me time without much to do. Like sit on a balcony or in the park or in a cafe and don't do anything specific. Go for a walk but alone and with no music or podcast in your ears. It can be hard too, I know, but just try it. It might surprise you. On Patreon I have shared a little ritual that helps me start creating after such breaks and crises. Yes, I now have a Patreon. For me it is an opportunity to keep working on my exhibition series, create useful content for you and invite you to the world of my art even before this big project of mine is ready. Lots of nice perks there, plus some free articles and videos open for all, like this ritual I'm talking about. So check it out, you're welcome there, the link is under the video. Now back to our theme. Here starts psychological work. Identify what's wrong. The quiet time we talked about might help. Ask yourself some questions. Am I just tired from a lot of work? Do I need some rest, a vacation maybe, or just lower paced schedule? Or is it more like a burnout, which might need more serious work on it? Or maybe I have changed, and these changes now require reframing everything, re-identifying yourself, your content, your art, finding new questions and new answers. Just sit with these thoughts. You might get some answers from yourself. It is important to understand, and I keep reminding myself that this is normal to feel uncertain, lost, desperate, useless, to feel like you have no path or goal. When you go through changes, you have to say goodbye to old goals and routines that didn't serve you. Sometimes it is painful, especially when you've put a lot of energy, time, and effort into the old ways. But the change is important and necessary. In the moment, it seems like you're drowning in these situations and these negative feelings, but here you need to switch on the view from a distance. Try to look at yourself from afar and say to yourself, this is temporary, this will pass, I just need to get through it, and at some point I will see more clearly. Remember when you're cleaning a dirty pan and it gets more greasy at first, but then it gets cleaner and cleaner. So just keep cleaning. Also remember about your bigger reason, your why of making art. Sometimes you can't put it into words yet, but you can definitely feel it inside. Even before I have put this into words for myself, I felt I could not create. This is something at the core of my life. Also, I feel that creating the beautiful artistic story about not such beautiful things in life and share it is how I can serve the world, is what I'm equipped for. I feel it in my bones, even when the world is not seeing it yet. But you have to think on your big why. You need to keep looking for your answer, because that gives you a great foundation, an inner support structure that will hold you during hard times. Some artists might disagree, and if it works for them, it's great. But for me, it is an important thing. Remember when Harry Potter in the third part was learning the Patronus charm? He needed to remember a strong positive thing from his life. At first, he remembered something like winning a Quidditch match, but he couldn't produce a Patronus. It just wasn't strong enough. The same is with me and knowing why I'm making art. Just kinda liking it is not strong enough for me. And in my opinion, it won't hold you and keep you in the creative practice during challenging times. But it works for a hobby though. I will make another video dedicated to this, as it is a giant topic on its own. Subscribe to my channel not to miss it. And by the way, I'm always grateful for your likes and comments. There you can also let me know what topics you would like to discuss, and I just might make a video on that. So let's keep going. Next is a thinking phase. Reframe, reschedule, start creating new systems, new goals, figure out your new priorities. Journal, write them down, hang them on the wall, keep correcting them until they feel right. Don't stay too long in this phase though. Whenever you have a close enough answer of what you want to do next, even if it's not 100% certain and clear, pin it, keep working on it, but don't just sit at this phase. I know that some of you are probably like me and love thinking and planning a lot, being in your heads, but you need to go to the next step, action. Start acting in accordance to the new plan and new vision. This is crucial. Without it, your previous work will not manifest into real world and will stay in your head. We don't want that. You will not see the full path ahead. Don't even try. Just determine the general direction and the first steps that you can do right now towards it. Make the first step, then think what's next, do that, and so on. Keep going, baby steps, checking in with your general vision from time to time. I know you might say, Kate, it's too easy to tell us all these steps in a neat 10-minute video, but it is a completely different thing to do this. I know. That's why I started talking about this. So now I'm curious, by the way, to know what step is especially hard or controversial for you. At what point do you usually get stuck? Would be great to read your thoughts And if you want me to cover any of these steps in more detail separately, let me know in comments. Thanks for your precious attention, dear creative people, and see you very soon in my new video. Also reminding you about my Patreon, where there is that creative ritual waiting for you if you wanted to get your creative juices flowing. And see you very soon, not saying bye! Spread for luck. These cards are too big for my hands, I can't grab them. So, a girl in the tree. I hope this means I will get a lot of views on this video.